All right, welcome everyone. Today I'm taking off my usual host hat and putting on my law professor hat for this explainer. Because today we're getting into the real, unfiltered stories behind money, careers, and success in the legal field. I want you to picture this. Three friends. They graduate from the exact same prestigious national law university in the exact same year with the exact same degree. All three are incredibly talented. They're all highly ambitious. But they choose completely different career paths. One joins a top corporate law firm. One starts at the absolute bottom of courtroom litigation. And one becomes a judge. We're going to follow the 20-year journey of these three identical law school graduates to see how their very different paths actually unfold. And honestly, the answer to who ultimately wins might just surprise you.
But before we even look at their starting salaries, I've got a quick quiz for you. Corporate law, courtroom litigation, the judicial bench. I want you to mentally lock in your choice right now. Which of these paths do you think will ultimately lead to the greatest success 2 decades from now? Got it? Okay, hold on to that thought. Because if you're a law student right now, you are going to be faced with this exact decision very, very soon. And as we're about to see, the beginning of the race looks vastly different from the finish line.
Section 1. The graduation starting line, 2014, where it all begins.
Okay, let's dive into this initial contrast. Our first friend, Alex, receives an offer from a top corporate law firm, pulling in roughly $18,000 a year right out of the gate. He's buying tailored suits, he's celebrating a massive victory. Brian, meanwhile, decides to join a senior lawyer's chamber at the High Court. So at first glance, Alex looks like the clear winner here. He has the massive corporate salary, the prestige of a top-tier firm, and immediate financial security. Brian, on the other hand, is facing a massive, and I mean massive, early struggle.
$300. That is literally all Brian is earning per month. He is practically surviving on instant noodles just to learn courtroom litigation from the ground up. But to be fair, remember that Alex is making his own sacrifices too. He's trading his nights and weekends, basically surviving on sheer adrenaline and an unhealthy amount of corporate coffee just to draft endless contracts. It's a pretty stark reminder that every single path demands profound, short-term sacrifices in these early years.
And meanwhile, Charles takes a completely different route. He endures months of grueling, totally isolating study. He completely bypasses the flashy law firms and the chambers to clear his judicial services examination. He passes and steps immediately onto the bench as a civil judge. So at this specific point in time, right after graduation, Alex appears to be miles ahead financially. But, as I always tell my students, careers are rarely a straight line.
Section 2, Surviving Early Career Struggles. The evolution of roles over time. As we track their growth chronologically over the next 20 years, jumping forward in 5-year increments on this timeline, I want you to notice how their trajectories aren't just straight, predictable lines upward. They're actually a series of distinct evolutionary phases. Let's look at the data. 5 years in, by 2019, Alex is a senior associate. He's fully mastered the core skills of corporate law: complex negotiations, intense due diligence, the whole shebang. Brian has definitely struggled, but he is mastering the art of cross-examination and client management, and he's finally taking independent cases. Now jump to the 10-year mark in 2024. Alex is now legal counsel for a major corporation. His income has skyrocketed. But look at Brian. Those early years of eating instant noodles, they're paying off big time. His independent practice is thriving, with multiple hearings every single day. Charles, steadily climbing his own respective ladder, has advanced to additional district judge. We're starting to see 3 completely different definitions of success taking shape here.
Section 3. Hitting major career milestones, the 15-year mark in 2029.
By 2029, Alex reaches one of the absolute toughest milestones in the corporate law world. He makes partner. All those long, grueling hours at the firm have finally secured him a seat at the table. But honestly, the most stunning shift here is Brian. Brian's independent practice has now grown so dramatically that his income actually rivals the top corporate lawyers. That massive financial gap from 2014, it is completely closed, and Charles has become a district judge, entrusted with massive responsibilities and making decisions that directly impact his community on a huge scale.
Section 4. 20 years later. The 2034 Convergence.
Fast forward to 2034, 20 years after graduation. The results, side by side, are incredible. Alex is now an equity partner, earning extraordinary compensation. He's achieved ultimate financial stability.
Brian is a highly sought-after star litigator, enjoying both massive income and total personal freedom. No corporate bosses for him. And Charles? Charles has been elevated to a high court judge. So Alex and Brian have achieved extraordinary wealth, no doubt about it. But Charles has the gavel.
And I think this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate power dynamic in the legal profession. Read this quote with me. The corporate lawyer and the star litigator may earn more money, but when they enter the courtroom, they stand before the judge. Financial wealth is an incredible achievement, for sure, but as this reminds us, that wealth ultimately bows to the professional respect and the sheer authority commanded by the bench.
Section 5. Defining true legal success. The professor's final lesson.
The truth is, guys, success is not one-dimensional. Money matters. Earning extraordinary compensation as a corporate partner is a totally valid goal. Freedom matters. Building an independent, thriving litigation practice gives you total autonomy over your life. Impact matters. Making major decisions that shape society is incredibly fulfilling. And respect matters. Commanding the courtroom from the bench is a totally unique honor. Each of these three friends achieved something extraordinary. As these trade-offs show, you really must balance your desire for financial growth with your need for personal freedom, social impact, and professional respect. You have to decide which of these pillars matters most to you.
So, as you stress over those early job offers, and I know you will, remember this: your starting salary does not dictate your finish line. To help you figure this out, I want you to take these 3 actionable steps today. 1, shadow an independent litigator for a day. Just see what it's like. 2, honestly audit your personal financial goals. What do you actually need to be happy? And 3, go sit in the gallery of a local court to watch a judge in action. Knowing what you know now about the decades of growth, the early sacrifices, and the ultimate trade-offs, what is your definition of success? And which 20-year path will you choose to walk? Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning and keep focused on your horizon.